Okay, so let's start recording. First of all, last Saturday, your chapter 7 lab and project should be due, right? Maybe you haven't submitted. If you have not submitted, please submit so. Okay. If you submit, I grade already majority of the people's work. But anyway, so before chapter 7 is all required, which means you have to do the chapter 7 and the chapter 7 project. And we have the bonus one, which we start from Wednesday, right? Last Wednesday, we start chapter 8. But chapter 8 is just bonus one, is optional. But I want to, since we have a lot of extra time, so that's why we don't cover this. As I mentioned to you, so this semester, I'm going to try to cover this one to you guys as optional. And next semester, I'm going to do that again. And if I can find out like a right speed, I'm going to put in the required document, required material. Because at this point, I think maybe I need more than 3 classes to cover chapter 8. Because last time I covered a little bit, and as I planned, I'm going to use this week, Monday and Wednesday, to cover the rest of chapter 8. Probably would, if I don't cover that, I might use some time on next Monday. But next week, we will use time to do our final project. Some of you guys finish already. Now, if you finish up final project, you can start to submit. Okay. I think I graded 3 people's final project already. So as long as your final project include everything from the rubric, now you should have 100. Don't have to be fancy. Okay, you can develop on your midterm, or you can just do the one from the midterm final folder. I think I have some examples on the final folder, final exam. Either you can develop, add more content into your midterm, or you can just do the final. I think on the final, we also have the option. So if you do not want to do your own project, then you can do the option, just like you do on the midterm option. Okay, it's up to you. As long as you can give to me by the end of the semester. The last day of this class is May 16th. And because we meet every Monday and Wednesday, so May 16th will be our last day of this class. Okay. If you develop your own project, you can use any pictures on the internet. Okay, as long as you include all the rubric from the final exam, which is right here. Again, I think you need to have, as you can see here. Wait a second. Easy. As you can see, Splash, which is chapter 7. In mainframe, including a menu, which is chapter 6. The error message, which is also chapter 5, 6. If else statement or select case, right? At least one loop. You can use any loop you want. And then also the logic syntax documentation, which is 15 point, which means you need to have comments, or if you want, you can even write down a separate Word document. Okay, tell me the purpose. The documentation you can look at after each chapter. After each chapter, they have a Word documentation right behind that. Now you can use that as a guide. Okay. So if you finish, you can start. But everybody has to show up on Monday 16th. You can show, kind of present your idea. Okay, present your ideas, your project to everybody, so everybody can learn from each other. So instead of wasting our time, because we, as you know, we do have a lot of time, we slow down a little bit, right? That's why. So this week we're gonna cover as much as we can on chapter 8. Then next week the whole class should be on the practice. But you do know, no matter it's practice time or lecture time, you need to be here. Now, even today, the content is optional. You still should be here. Okay. Now, last time, okay. So today, what I will do is I will talk about some content through the PowerPoint. Then we just finish up the interface, because as you can see, we have not finished using interface yet. We have a long way to go. That's why I said probably in the future, next semester, if I have to use the 4 classes instead of 3 classes to cover this content. Now we start. Last time we left it here. So we can, okay, I'm going to slideshow. The content of this is we can, yes, okay, we can define one dimension array like this, dim string isolate 5 as string. That means this one we can have maximum 6 elements. Okay, as you can see, when we declare on the line 17, dim string isolate 5, in the parenthesis we have the largest index inside, which means your whatever the maximum subscript, or you can say index. We use index because in the other languages we all call this index. I mentioned to you before last class, for other languages, now if I define a string with the parenthesis and with a number inside, normally that's how many number inside. If I do like a int string isolate 5 in Java or in C++ or in Python, that means I can only contain 5 elements. But in VB, it's a little bit different. In VB, the 5 is the highest index. So if I have 5, that means I will have 6 elements, because for all index numbers, any language, the index number from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I'll stop here. So which means if you want to assign a number to string isolate 6, then you have the error, okay, which is the outer boundary. Okay, you can only have this. So we use index number to help us locate which element you want from the collection, because for the chapter 8, we are going to handle a bunch of collection instead of just a single element. So in the past, we always handle single element, right? The Boolean type, int variable, like Boolean variable, character variable. But now in chapter 8, we're going to learn more content. Okay. I believe previously we use this, we left this chapter as optional, is because it does require more time than the other chapters, because it contains a lot of content. So we have this. So you can you can initialize the element at the beginning when you initialize it. If you don't initialize, you can the compiler will assign default value. So for all languages, okay, when I talk about all languages, not English, French, it's all programming language. Okay, for all programming languages, it's like the same thing. Okay, if it's numeric number, either you have your default value is 0 for integers. For the decimal numbers, you put 0.0. It's like for every language. Okay, Python, C++, Java. Now, if you forget to initialize, that is what happened. If you string, okay, all languages also have string type. Keep in mind, string type is not a built-in type. It's not a primitive type. It's always user-defined. No matter what language you use, the string type is always not user-defined in our library, in our coding library. Okay, what is coding library? Because for every programming languages, when they use a lot of long time, the users always contribute certain code to let everybody else use, like a string type. So string type is not like a built-in type, but every language, they always have string type. Okay, string type is, what is string? String is an array of characters. So if we put a bunch of characters together, we kind of form a string. So string is an array of characters. So if I do not initialize strings, that it is null, it's empty, nothing inside. But the Boolean type is false. By default, the Boolean type is always false. Boolean, true or false. By default, is always false. So last time we started here. So I'm going to cover the next 10 pages before I do the user interface. So as you can see here, now since array have a bunch of elements, is a collection of elements. So we cannot directly, I should not say we cannot directly, we definitely can directly access single element. But if we want to access every element of this collection, we have to use a loop, okay? Because, you know, we have multiple items in this collection. So the only way we do to access every element inside is to use loop. So right now you can see here, we use a for loop. So for, as you can see, first of all, it defines 3 variables. The first one is a string type, array type. Dim, int, delay, temp, generate 31 as integer. So it's kind of like have an array to collect every day's temperature in January. It's 31, which means that the maximum index is 31. Okay, then we have string temperature as a string. And we have an int days as integer. So we can kind of use this too as a median to put a number inside. So let's see here, for int days equal to 0 to 30. That's string from 0 to 30. Then string temperature input box. So you use the input box to get value. So input box we learned in the previous chapter, they have a certain format. Okay, this is I think this is a message on the input box. Enter the lowest temperature in January, the int days plus 1. Why they have int days plus 1? Because the int days we use as index, and its index is from 0, right? Index and elements, they have a relationship. The index number is always element number minus 1. That is why when we do use the index number, when we use the index number to represent our element number, we plus 1. See, the first element index is 0. The second element index is 1. The third element index is 2. So for the element number, it's always the index number plus 1. Okay, because the index number you want to start from 0. Then we obtain temperature into daily. And then we use because everything we get from the user interface, they are string type. So we have to convert to integer type. So convert dot to int 32. Okay, so we have this part. Now here is a boundary here, which means, okay, so this one has issue with out of boundary. So you can see here, if I define January 30, so which maximum index number is 30, but somehow when you use a loop, int days equal to 0 to 31. So into 0 to 31. So now if you access 31, it's out of boundary because your maximum index is 30, not 31. So here, if you run this, you have the boundary issue because you don't have the 31. Okay. When we define the line 37 right here, you know, your maximum index is 30, not 31. So if you loop as the last step, you will have an error message. Okay, this will be error message because this is the maximum. Maximum is 30, not 31. We can see here, the exception occurs when the loop tries to reference element with the subscript 31. The element does not exist because the error contains 31 element with the upper bound, which is the maximum bound of 30. Wait, where is it? Now, the upper bound index constant. So an array can use a constant value to represent its maximum number. The upper bound is what is your maximum value of index? Okay. So by using the constant, the size of several array can be specified quickly. As you can see here, constant int upper bound as integer equal to 40. So when you use a local variable to keep it 40, now which means later on, if you want to resize your array, so all you have to do is you go to line 47 to modify this. So maybe this time I want to have 40 elements in my array. Next time I want to be 30. So we can use a constant number to hold this value. So later on, now in the future, if I want to minimize or maximize, make it bigger or smaller, so all I have to do is instead of going inside of each parenthesis, I just go modify this line to make it more manageable. Okay, make it more manageable. Now, here's the thing. if we use other languages, it won't, for a C++ Java, it will not allow you to reinitialize the array. So once you define array as 10 element inside, then it will always stay in 10 element. But here in Java, in Visual Basic, it allows you to redefine, reinitialize. So this time you can at the beginning, you might have an array which is 60 element inside, 50 element inside. Then later on, you can redefine as a 65 element inside. So every array in Visual Basic is considered dynamic, which means you can resize it at runtime. So by resize it, we use redim. Okay, redim, R-E-D-I-M, to assign the new size. So if you want handle array, then as long as you define this array, you have a certain element, define the maximum value you can hold, maximum amount of number you can hold. But you can use a redefine, R-E, to redefine how many elements. So even though now in Java C++, we do not have this idea of redefine, but we do have a new idea. So in the future, if you learn Java 1 or CSP 127 or CSP 151, you will know we have a array list in Java, which means we do not define boundary. So you can put as any element as you want inside. Okay, so it has more freedom. So array list has more freedom than array, but unfortunately in VB we don't have a array list, but we do have the idea that you can always reinitialize the array. Okay, so this time if you want to see in the line 51, you have dimension string employee 50 as a string, so you have a maximum 51 element inside, right, from 0 to 50, which is 50 element inside. But if you want, later on, as you can see on the line 53, you can redefine, make it bigger, which is allowed in Visual Basic. So we can this is an example, reinitialize. Okay. So if you want to preserve the existing data, which means suppose you did something and you still want the previous data still stay, although you expand. So you can use a preserve. So whatever inside of string employee 0, string employee 1, string employee 2 will stay as you did not extend before. Okay, that is one new idea, preserve. Okay. The last property. Now, when we learn array, we are going to learn a lot of existing functions to help us manage our array. And later on, when we read the data from the files, we also will use the existing function in our VB. The first existing function we're going to learn today is using length property. So when you handle array, and no matter what language you learn, it always contains dot length. Okay, dot length. So how many elements you have? Because array is a collection. So dot length will show you how many elements, the amount of element. Okay, so you might think like it's a library. Library is a big collection, right? It's a collection, is an array. So you can say library dot length. You can see how many books inside. The amount of item inside dot length. This is predefined. Is as long as you declare this collection is array, then you can use dot length to contain the number of elements. Okay. So you can see here, dim string branch office 50 as a string, then LBL, which is label resize text. This resize is, you see, certain. What does this mean? This means string concatenation, combine two strings as one string. So if you see that sign, that is string concatenation. Now in the future, you will see this symbol all the time. The at, because what is that? Filter. What is this now? But this one means string concatenation. Now in the future, in the other languages, it also associated with the address of your memory. Okay. The next one you can see here. Wait. int year 99 as integer, int count as integer. Now, if you declare like 100 years as an array, you can use this control variable, the dim count control variable, to access every element. So you can see here, for int count equal to 0, to int year dot length minus 1. Okay, because dot length will be 100. 100 minus 1 is 99, which is the maximum index. That is why it's int year. What is it? That is int year dot length minus 1. Okay, because it was from 0 to 99. Your length is 100. 100 minus 1 is 99, the maximum index. So we have this, we use this int year dot length to help us to do this loop. So for int number of employees to 0, from the smallest index to the largest index, which is dot length minus 1, you just do this int year salary. We call this function, the number of employee equal to, oh no, this is not function, this is a yearly salary, which is array, int year salary 9. So it is an array element equal to, we use the input box to get it. Therefore, int add 0 to this length, we accumulate. So we can always use a loop to accumulate our sum. So this is a use array. Okay, let me see the for each. Okay, so this is one of the important idea in array. So we have learned in the past, we learned loop, right, which is the for loop, which we will see that regular for loop, and we see do while and do until, right? We have so many loops. Now here, so in order to access our collections, we are going to learn for each. Okay, most of the languages will have for each, like Java have the exact same for each. C++ also has for each. What is for each? For each normally help you to control array. Okay, when you use for each, it will automatically process or access element from index 0 to the last index, which means you do not have to worry about the index anymore, because the system will automatically look at, or search for it, modify, update the index number. So that is the beauty of for each. So normally, if I access array or array list or list, okay, then the best way, not the best way, the easiest way to access every element in the collection will be using for each, because I do not have to worry about index anymore. The system will automatically help us to access or update the index. So for each, as you can see, for each control element in our array, and then we have line of code next, which means if I hit next, it will go to loop. You see here, this is an example, private sub, bottom history click. Now we have 3 variables, dimension string, famous computer pioneer as a string, and we have a Pascal. I can add icon, so they are all the famous computer scientists. And then we have dim string heading, computer pioneer, string pioneer as a string, then list pioneer dot item dot add. So actually list box, this list also has some built-in functions like dot item dot add. We're adding on to content inside, and then for each, you see here, for each element in this array, we will add this inside. As you can see, it's much shorter because it automatically, okay, help you to update the index number. But we do need, the other one control element, which is a string pioneer. Why we do the string instead of some other type? Because your array is a string type. Okay, so you set up a control element to help you, but this control element should be the same type as your other arrays. So for each string pioneer are this. So you have this. So for each, that is for each. Now, scope of array. Now, very easy to understand. The scope array. So what is scope? The place where you see the scope of the array and the place where you use the array. So wherever you define that. If you define this array in this local procedure, that is only can be seen, only can run in this procedure. But if you declare as a class type, it was everybody can see that. Keep in mind, if you define a class variable, which at the beginning of the class, which every procedure can see, you always start your name with underline. As you can see here in this size, every variables start with underline. So private int line of item, private int size of array, etc. It's class level private variable always start with underline. We can pass the array with by reference. So I'm going to stop it here because right now it's 11:43. So let's do the work. Okay, I'm going to write down notes. So next time, this time I stop at the last slides 25. So next time I'm going to continue. That means in the future, if I want to put it into the requirement, then I have at least 5 or 4 classes for this content. So anyway, let's open this file. This is what we have. Okay, first thing, I think I mentioned to you, we start from last Monday, we have the course evaluation. Now, when I received the email from this morning, in the past 1 week, I only have 3 students from this class to finish the course evaluation. So now please help me to complete the survey. It might take you 5 minutes or so. Please do that. It means a lot to me because I told you ever since pandemic, my course evaluation is like only few people submit, so it's always invalid. So they have some certain requirement. If they have more than 6 or more than 7 students finish the course evaluation, then it counts. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Okay, so please spend some time to do that. Okay, let's start to do the work. By the way, I'm gonna open the file first. I know some of you guys probably don't like this. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to upload this one here. Also, if you have any question, you can always ask me. Okay, if you have any question regarding to anything, now I have chapter 8. This I'm going to put my video right here for 27. Can you believe we have 2 more weeks and we're done for this semester, and you're gonna have a very long summer vacation. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. So we have this. So last time we finished this the labels, right? Now we're gonna continue the rest of it. So we have 4 more labels and 4 more list box. So we're gonna create that. I'm gonna close the Dropbox here. So we have this. This is what we have. So we're gonna have the label from the toolbox. I'm gonna drag the first label right here. This is label 1. Now we click label 1. And you can see now we can modify the content right here. The name of label 1 is LBL. Yeah. Okay, keep in mind, this is the face-to-face class. You're required to be here every single class. I saw some people stop attending this class after finishing the chapter 8. That's not good. I did not say once you finish everything, you don't have to show up. You do have to show up every single class. I keep mentioning this one again, but still some people didn't show up. Okay, so maybe some of you guys, when you receive your final grade, you will be surprised to see instead of A, you might have B or C because of your attendance. Because on my syllabus, I did say if you take absent more than 5 times, I have to take points. I mean, absent 2 times. Start from third time. Every time you absent will be 3 or 5 points. So if you see a C or D instead of A or B, that is probably mainly because of your attendance. Okay, you do have to be here every single class until May 16, no matter you finish everything or not. I know some of you guys finish the final project, finish chapter 7, 6, and even chapter 8, but still you have to be here. We have the label and we have the text. Present, yeah. Present, yeah. Okay, now we're gonna change the font, the size, and the color, and the visible. So change the font. The font should be bold and 10 and okay. We can change this size 10 as usual. So you click this dot, you pop up this window, you make your font style and 10. So actually the Visual Basic, as long as, you know, actually for all the languages, Visual Basic, C++, even not like a really a programming language like Excel or Access, as long as you're good at one thing, you can find the job easily. Okay. So we can have this, and now we're gonna change the font color, which is font color. Instead of black by default, we go to the web category to find the gray color. So this is gray color, and then we make it invisible. So go to the visible, make it false. But if you want to make it like in 2 lines, let's see. So print that here. Okay, wait a second. We have this one. The next one, I'm gonna add a list box. So I'm gonna drag it here. A list box. Now we're gonna change the name. This box is LST. So LST, the prefix is always in lowercase letter. So LST, yeah. And we have size. The size give you. So go to the size right here. Instead of 120.95, it's 88,84. So is this smaller than the default one. So later on, when we read the data from our files, you can just put the data from the existing XTXT file to here. Okay, 88 to 84. Automatically give me, okay, so which means 88 to 82. Now we have the visible equal to false. We hide it. So which means only after you click calculate, then you can make it false. Then we have the four color gray. Go back to top. This is also, go to the web, go to the gray color. This is also gray. Okay, so we have the gray color right here, and it tells you you need to make the align all form horizontal center equal space. So we can do the alignment after we finish all the four things together. Then we click the format, do them together. Right now we don't have to do it. And we have the first one is done. Then we repeat doing the next three things. We need 3 more label and 3 more list box. So we're gonna drag another label right here. So this label name is LBL. And then we have the text, which is that is and we're gonna have to change the font size to be exact same as the present year, which is a size 10 bold and gray color. So we're gonna do that size. Bold 10. Sans Safari bold 10. And we have the full color to be gray. The interesting part of this is instead of just one form, we have two forms. We have gray here. And we have this. Now we are going to do the visible equal to false. Hide it. This is the second one. Then you have to do a list box associated with this again. So we have this. Drag a list box here. As you can see, we have to modify size. The size should be the exact same size of the previous list box, right? The display, the value from the, I think the value from the file. So we drag this box. So we're gonna have to modify the name. So go to here. The list box name is LST. And we have this size and full color. So full colors change to full color to be gray. Okay, they all be gray color. And then we change the, did I change anything? After changing this one, the not location, the size. The size should be 88, 84. But I know for my computer, it's automatically become 82. So this is the size of the list box, and the visibility should be false. We're gonna repeat doing those. We repeat adding those labels and two more labels. Label one again. And if you want, we can drag another label. Drag another list box. One more list box and one more. Okay, let's do one by one. So label one, I'm gonna type a name. The label one name is, the label name is LBL. The label is always LBL. Year depreciation. Now we have the text. Make sure you assign the text should be, instead of label one, the text is year depreciation. Depreciation. we change the text, then we change the size and color, right? And also visible equal to false. That means you're gonna hide it at the beginning. Only after you click the button, it will show up. So visible equal to false. And I'm gonna change the font and the color. The font and the color. Right here, bold 10. Okay, bold 10 for the font. So the color is web gray. Okay, so we have this one like this. For the list box, so I'm going to change the list box. List box, we're doing the same thing. LST. This list box name is year depreciation. And we're going to change the font color to gray. And we're going to change the size to, again, the size will be 88, 84. 88, 84. Sorry, 88. It will automatically become 82, unfortunately. So we have this. So we're gonna do one more. This one is last label, which we change the name as LBL total, LBL total depreciation. And we have this, we're gonna change the font size. Font will be bold 10 again. The color should be gray again. Gray. Where's my gray? Disappear. Gray color again. And it will be, after I change the 10 and the gray, I will make it text, which is instead of label 2. The text should be total depreciation. Depreciation. And the visible equal to false. Oh, by the way, at this point, I still have quite a few people did not submit the right forms for the previous homeworks. So, you know, it's almost the end of semester. So if you have not submitted the right format for your previous homework, please do it as soon as possible. Don't wait for last minutes, okay? So if you have issues from latte selection, midterm, etc. If I told you the format error, please submit it. Okay, don't wait for the last minutes. If you want to know your grade early, then submit your homework early. Okay, don't wait for last minutes, please. We have this total depreciation. Like we're gonna have one more list box. Okay, because at this point, I think I have 2 students giving the wrong format for the midterm project. You see how much time passed after midterm project? At least 4 weeks passed already, right? And I still haven't received your right format. So please do so, okay? So if you have any issue with your computer, try to figure it out, because seriously, if you, next semester, if you take other teachers' class, they might not want you to resubmit again, okay? That was the last list box. So we will have the name change is LST total depreciation. And then we have the size of the font, the font color equal to gray. And we have size, change the size to 88 84, same size, they all be the same size, and then we have the visible equal to false. After that, as you can see, they are not really all form horizontal center equal space. So after we change, we have all the label and the list box, we can click this one and hold Control key, and click another one, click another one, click another one. So if I click Control key, I can select multiple items. Okay, not only for VB, okay, but also for others. Like if you use Excel or you use Access, as long as they are Microsoft product, you can always use Control key to help you select multiple items. So I use Control key, select multiple items, then I go to Format, and I can go to horizontal spacing, make them equal. Are we gonna center? Yeah, make it equal, and then we can go back for Format, center in the form horizontally. Okay. So you can see that is the beauty of that. So after you click a Control key, you select multiple items and you do two things on your format. Click Format, horizontal space, make it all equal, and click the Format, center in form horizontally. So as you can see, my list box are horizontal spaced. I mean, like equally spaced. After we've done that, we can do the same thing for our labels. Because of our labels, we I think we should do the same thing, although it didn't say anything about it. So click this is the first label, hold the Control key. So you always need to use the two hands. One hand to hold Control key, the other hand to click the other items, whatever we want to do that. So go to the Format, horizontal spacing. Do we need to horizontal spacing? Didn't ask us to do the, but I will do that anyway. Then we do Format, center in form horizontally, so it looks like this. Anyway, it doesn't show me like two things. Do I need to do the? Okay, so if it want me to do the two space, so what I can do is on the text. Okay, they have text align in the center. Okay, middle center. If you want, you can choose the text alignment in the middle center. All of them. Also, wait a second. What else can I modify text? So go to here. I can click Enter to make it two lines. Year depression. Okay, and do it right here. Same thing as you can. Okay, so if I do this, which means I don't want to middle center, I make it right here. So year depression like this, top left, will be like more close to the book show you. So you can see if you want your label appear in two lines, what you can do is you click here, choose the label you want to make it the two lines, then click the text part. See, you have a arrow button down. After total, you click Enter. Okay, now it will be enter two lines. And if you want to make it exact same as the book show you, click this. As you can see, it has something like this. Move that up a little bit. So you can do the same thing as the other two. Okay, I choose this one. I go to click the button, click Enter in between. Okay. So I have this one. If I want to make them appear same line, I can make it like this. Okay. Can move a little bit. Okay. So this one, I do the same thing. I have to adjust it again. So I should do that when I do this project. So present year. So I have this. Click that. The text line in top left. As you can see here, it looks just like the one on the book. So this is the first form. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save all of this. So I'm going to move on to the next form. Oh, guys, don't waste your time. Even if you don't listen to chapter 8, which is optional, but you still should do your final project. Okay, you should not do not idle, and also Brian. Brian, what are you doing, Brian? Now, even if you don't listen to the chapter 8, you should do your final project. I just want to say how many classes do I need to spend on this so I can have idea. Okay, because previously it's always optional. So I have no idea how much classes I need to spend on this. So this is the second class. I might have to spend two more. Who knows? Okay. So maybe in the future, I want to shorten the time I spend on chapter 2 and 3, so I can make more time at the end if I need to make it as a required. Okay, so I'm gonna add another form. So click the project on the menu. Okay, right here. Where's the right here? Project on the menu. I click add Windows form. In the add comment box, we click Windows form and name the Windows form. Okay, so we choose by default the Windows form. I'm gonna choose form display. Okay, so we're gonna name as not form 1. We're gonna name it as SRM display inventory. So as you can see, not only you have learned all these labels, list box, but also, you know, instead of just one form, we can have 2 forms. So there's a lot of content in chapter 8. Array, how to control array for each element, and how to read from file and write to the file, write out of the file. It's a lot of content actually. So after we add a new Windows form, and we name this as this. So we're gonna choose this. Click OK. Windows form. Okay. So we have one more. As you see, form display inventory. Now we're gonna assign the title here. Open the VB project something automatically right here. So we're gonna select the form object, change the property, the text property instead of form inventory. So we're gonna change to sorted inventory listing. Sorted inventory listing. Then we have to create a user interface, as we see here. Oh, that's still a lot of content. So we're gonna have a picture, a label, a list box, and a button. So we have 4 tools. We're gonna have 4 items here. But do they have the 1, 2, 1, 2? Okay. So first of all, we have a form display inventory. We have to have a size first. So after we type sorted inventory list, so we're gonna go to the size. So instead of 816, 489, we're gonna change to 387, 419. Make it smaller. Then after we change the size, John, are you feel sleepy? Why you come here and sleep? John, every time I see you come here to sleep. Did you work like last night? Okay. You should balance your life better. I know money is good, but you need to study, right? So you're a student. We have back color, which is white. Now we have accept button. Right here, we don't have a button yet, so we're gonna do the accept button later. We have back color, and then we have, so basically now we're done with the form. So we're gonna add a picture right here. We have a picture box. So I just saw the news. The governor said that everybody, for all the kids above pre-K, they will have $375 for every month for your food. So in the future, you might, be able to get the free money from the government. For all the students in New York State, they have this much money. So we put the list box, picture box right here. So we're gonna first of all change the name. Instead of picture box 1, we put PIC. Okay, and we're gonna have to import. Before I import, I'm gonna change the size first. So I'm gonna go to the size to make it 79,59. Well, this is a small size. So after we have 79,59, we go to the top. We have to have image right here. Click dot, dot, dot. So go to the local resource, import. I think that's the exact same picture as we used in the previous one, which is this. Okay, then we're gonna have to go to the image stretch. Oh, 79,59. So right after that, right under the size, you have the size mode. You can have stretch image to make it fit into this small picture box. Okay, so you see here, what I changed, the change name is picture truck. Then we go to the image, which is you import from the data files. Then after we have the image, we can change the size, which is 79,59. Then we have a size mode equal to stretch image. After that, we're going to have a label. Again, drag it label right here. The title label. Okay, we have the label right here. Now we're going to change the label. Is LBL title 2. LBL title 2. John, do you finish or not? Why use your cell phone? Don't text your friends. So we have this. We have the LBL title 2. Okay. Like I said, even if you don't want to listen to my lecture, you can still work on your final project. And keep in mind, your final project required to be here. I mean, you put your final project in a USB drive, so you can present on the board. Anyway, so we have this title 2. So we're gonna change the font and full color font. Oh, size will be 17. Both, not both, just 17. I don't have 17. I just make type 17 right here. So I have 17. Both. You can size. I think you need to right here. So you make it 17. You can just sometimes you just type the size. If they don't have the size you want, you just type it right here. 17, size 17. And the full color. You click the full color. Now, so far, all the color we use in this semester are always under the web category. So under the web, you should find orange, red. Oh, right here, orange, red. You find orange, red. Then we go down, image align, middle, center. And after we align, we're gonna have to automatically align. Then we do the text. We haven't changed the text yet. So go to the text part. which is stock inventory. Okay, so we have this. Oh, sorry, typo here. So we have this. Move a little bit. No. So we have this. Now, few minutes to just, so we're gonna do 2 more and we're done with this user interface. Oh, user interface takes too long. Okay, so we have that. Next thing we do is we're gonna add the list box. So this is a big one. This one is the big one. So the list box, we drag the list box right here. So we're gonna change the name. Oh, by the way, I want to remind you again. So we in the summer, so you can register your summer class in the right now. It's open 2 weeks already. So we have three computer class in the summer. So in summer 2, we have my class, which is CSP 149, HTML, and also CSP 130, which is the computer society one. Okay, that is the summer. Okay, both will be on remote, which is we meet on Zoom. Now in summer 3, we have another class is CSP 150, which is Python. Okay. So you want to spend five classes to learn Python. But anyway, let's see here. So list box. LST display. Now we have found. So just in case if you want to do anything, you can always learn. Even if you graduate from here, you can still take some class in the summer because every summer they have a lot of students from outside, from other schools. They take the credit from here. Okay, so we're gonna make it bold 12. As you can see, the full color should be gray. A line, we're gonna do a line later. So the next one is back color. So after you change this one, you have back color, which is background color. B, start with B, so we have to go to here. The back color, which is white smoke under the web. Didn't tell us the size, so we can make it a little bit bigger if we want. According to the picture, figure 8-84, we have this one. The size, make it bigger. Now, you can just click the format, and you can make alignment, align the center horizontally. Okay, align the center horizontally. Same thing as right here. So you can go to the format, make it horizontal, center in the form horizontally. Oh, maybe I should not make it horizontally. I'll leave it here. Anyway, so we have this. Little bit right here. Oh, we have one last item before we do the coding part. So we're gonna add the button. Okay, go to the button part. Drag the button right here. It's button 1. You're gonna change the name. You don't like button 1, label 1, right? Let's change the button with BTN return. So we change the button name and we change the font and the color. Font should be Safari bold 12, size 12, bold 12. Okay. And for the full color, you want to be white. Oh, sorry, full color. Where's full color? Right here. For the full color, you want to web to be white. Okay. So size 12, white. And we have after you have white, you cannot see anything now. So you have to go to check your background color. You want the background color instead of the window automatically window, you want to go to the web, change it to orange red. Okay, so you have this. So you can see that the back color is orange red with white font. So we have this. Of course, we have not changed our text yet, right? So we're gonna change the text. So on the back color is the background color. And font color is means font color. Now the next thing you do will be font color. I should need to make it white. Next one will be the text. We haven't changed text yet. So the text should be return to application, because there are so many words letters here. So we have to resize our button later. Return to application. As you can see, not enough, right? It's not ugh. Only see return to. So we're gonna drag it. Return to application. And if you want, you can go after you type return to application and display every letter, you go to format and center in form horizontally, make it in horizontal. So we finally finish our form. That means now we can do the debugging part, although we only have 17 minutes late. So we are going to do early things today. All we have to do is we're gonna just type the comments and then we can leave the rest of it on Wednesday. Okay, as you know, we have we still have 3 more classes. Even though I told you that next semester will be like all focused on the final project, and we can still use some of the time, some of the Monday time to finish up this project. So I think in the future I will leave 4 classes for this. Okay, so we have this, so we start with the coding. Okay, so we can do the go to the form depreciation here. Go back to here. And we can double click. Okay, I have this one. We have public depreciation. So I'm gonna delete everything. I think somehow I probably click something which I should not click. So I'm gonna get rid of this part. So I have the public class form depreciation and class. So this is this. Later I'm going to add more content. So click enter, enter. We have space right here. Now we are going to type the comment. Okay. So we have to do. I mean, in the next 15 minutes, we just type the comments and declare class field, and we're going to end up today's class. I'm going to do program name. So keep in mind that in the chapter 8, although some of you guys did not really do the hands-on work, okay, I want you to know this is an important idea. That's why I'm considering to make it a required, because definitely it will benefit you in the future learning. If you want to learn, if you want to be a computer programmer, you have to know array, right? Because it's very important. A lot of times we are handling collection of data instead of single one. We type chef shark food truck precision Windows application. So also, by the way, the highest grade is A. So there's no A minus. Sorry, there's no A plus in college. So the highest grade I give you will be A. So some people probably already have A. So highest grade is A. There's no A plus. So in the future, if you see A, just don't come to me and complain you don't have A minus, A plus, because A plus is only for middle school or high school. So in college, there's no A plus. So the highest grade I give you will be A. But make sure all the grades are based on your homework, your project, and your attendance. But although I probably did not put attendance percentage there because by default, I think everybody should be here for every single class. Now, but if you absent more than 2 times, I will start to take points from you. Okay. If you absent 3 times, 4 times, each absent is 3 points. If you absent more than 5 times, then each absent will be 5 or 6 points regarding to my syllabus, because you know everything I write on my syllabus. Awesome. So later on, when you do your own project, the author should be your name. Some of you guys still using this author's name. Okay, like when you do your case studies, you still put her name here. Put your own name, so because that is your own work. Okay, date. Is this April 14, 2019? You can even put today's date. That doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter which day's date. If you want to put today's date, it is also fine. So you can see this is a part of the documentation. But besides the Word document is display, you need to have, you know, tell them what's the name of the file, who is the author, what is the date, etc. And the purpose. Inventory. Windows. Application determines, okay, the depreciation based on a 5-year life of items in inventory. Then comma space using the straight line and double declining balance method. Okay, finally we finish the comments. After that, you know, the right underneath our comments is option straight up. Option, you can see strict up, which means you do not want data type convert to each other. Okay, you don't want like an integer to become decimal or something. So we have that. After that, I'm gonna type our class field. Okay, so we're gonna leave the rest of them next Wednesday, because as you can see, there's a lot of content. Definitely Wednesday we cannot finish. So I might need to use next Monday. But then, you know, some of you guys already, if you don't pay it, I'm thinking like at least 30%, 60% of students didn't listen to this. So you, as long as you give me the final project on time, should be fine. So we have this. Now we're gonna, after we have this, we can declare local variables. Oh, not sorry, local variable. The class fields for the class. What is class field? Like global variable for all the method, all the function inside of this class. Okay. So if you declare field, I mean like class field or class variables, you always should start from the underline. I should not say start, it should start, because if you don't start, it's still fine. But to make user-friendly code, if you put an underline in front, so everybody know, okay, that is the class field. Okay, so once I finish the declare those, we're gonna dismiss the class. Okay, I know some of you guys already, you know, use your cell phone or not, or just want to leave. Okay, I'll just once I finish the class field declaration, we're gonna end our class. So we can type class level to private variables. As you know, now if I declare a field or variable from all the classes use, all the class function use, you want to make it private so nobody can see from outside, nobody can modify from outside. Okay, class level private variables. So we can declare first one is int of items as integer, which is 5. So because you have 5 years depreciation, so it's make it like 5. So private int life of items as integers equal to 5, because you see based on the 5 year of life of time. Okay, that is why it's 5. If you want to make it readable, add a space in between. So the first one, see, I have underlines here. The next one, we have another line, so public shared. So this one is public, which means people can see from outside, and people can modify from outside. So make it public and share with everybody else. Public share. So the next two, they are public, so you can see or you can modify from outside. Do not leave, okay? When I say leave, you can leave. I know you still, we have time. We haven't finished the class yet, so you probably should not pack our stuff. It's not really respectful. We have that int size. Okay, I have an S to be uppercase. Size of array. Size of array as integer. I guess the reason they make it like a public shared is maybe they want to modify the size of the array. So if you make it like public shared, so people can modify from outside. That is the difference between private and the public. You know, make private like your social security number. So if I have a human class, you know, when we do the object-oriented language, the maybe it's object-oriented languages. Okay. Sometimes we have this confidential information like your birthday or your social security number. You don't want people to modify it. And also for you, if you want to modify your social security number, you have to apply from this special office, right? You can definitely, I think you're allowed to modify your social security number if you want to, but you have to pay certain fees. You have to, you know, go to this all this fancy stuff because it's a public. They want to protect your data. You don't want everybody to modify. So we have private. If we want to protect our data, we make it private. But if you don't want to protect the data, if you want everybody to see that, it's public shared, public. So you can see from outside. So what kind of information you can see from outside? Maybe like how many classes you take this semester, right? But your grade should be private, right? You don't want everybody to see your grade. Especially if it's not good, right? If it's good, you might want people to see it. If it's not good, probably don't want. Anyway, so we type inventory item. So we have a group. So this one is, keep in mind, everything I'm talking to you right now will benefit your next semester study for Java or Python. Don't leave, okay? Well, there's nothing to hurry. Array. Now we have size array as string. So this will declare a string type. As you can see, it's string type array. So if you see a parenthesis, you know that is array. That is collection of items. Not just single item. It's a collection of items. I have 3 more. That way you can leave. Okay. Private. Items ID, and we have this int size of array as another string type, and then we have 2 more, another private decimal initial price. Okay, I'm gonna be fast, try to be fast. So if you want to leave, once I finish, okay. Int size of array as decimals. So even if you don't learn this, you in the future you still have to learn this content. In the future, you will learn this same idea in Java and Python again. But you know, if you learn this right now, it will make everything easier. That is why at this point it still be optional, because you no matter what, you're gonna learn it in the future. As long as you become CIS degree, you want to have a CIS degree or CS degree quantity, and we have the same idea. So we have 3 arrays, okay, int size of array. And we have as integer. And integer. Okay, so we're gonna just declare those. So you can see here, int of life of time items 5, size is 7. So supposedly you can have 7 items inside. This is so later on you can modify. See here, it uses int size array to control how many elements in your array. So in the future, you can modify outside. If you want to have those 3 parallel array to be different size, so all you have to do is you can modify the size in the size of array outside. So anyway, as I said, we're gonna stop it here. So if you want to leave, you can leave. If you haven't finished typing this, you can stay here to type it. That is all for today. Thanks for staying with me.